So you're thinking of building a family business? This is a big decision, not gonna sugarcoat it for you. I've been there, done that, and worn the t-shirt. The advantage of making the move is unquestioned. You have stability of leadership for a start. More often than not, there is a greater sense of commitment and accountability amongst participating family members, which makes building a lasting business more likely. Family members tend to be more flexible with time and their willingness to take on added responsibilities, compared to non-family team members who need clearly delineated job roles. Finally, I have definitely found that family businesses are always minded to think far into the future, often making them more determined and driven to make good business decisions. Saying all of this, I do feel building a family business has an added layer of complications that have to be deliberately managed by you to prevent a lot of heartache and pain further down the line for all the parties involved. I will do my best to flag up as much as possible in this video and provide you with my suggested approach. First things first, I'm going to run through the 3 most common problems I have come across in a family business. I'm not trying to be discouraging by doing this, it's just that I want you to get out of any romantic notions you may have swiftly so that you can make an honest business strategy for the family business following this video. First problem I usually see is having unclear job roles. Running a business by yourself or with a family should be treated the same as any other business with particular roles and duties. As a result, it is best to avoid having ambiguous positions in your family enterprises. Nothing is more frustrating than working in a family business where your responsibilities are unclear. It has the potential to create havoc. Second problem I often see in a family business is reluctance to hire anyone other than your own family members. As much as you know this deep down, it is important that as a family business operator, you understand that just because someone is related to you, it does not make them the right fit for what the business needs. And the thing is, the business needs is what dictates the state of play. Bringing a new, unrelated energy into your dynamic can help you keep the focus on what's best for the business rather than getting absorbed by family politics. The final problem I have seen with family businesses is the fact that family members are not being treated as equal team members. Something as simple as paying the owner's child for doing little work, no work, or lousy work, or even having them working preferential hours can all contribute to low morale amongst employees who aren't related to the business owner or their children. It is critical that salary and perks are determined based on the role and not on the nature of the connection between the parties to make everyone feel respected. Saying that, I've also seen the scenario where the family member is treated worse to compensate for the guilt of being a family member. The best way to remove sensitivity about family members being in the business is to have a balanced equal treatment of all team members. My strategy after working and managing a few different family setups of my own is to take specific steps in 4 areas, all of which I find to be ones that risk the success of the business if they are mismanaged. The 4 segments are day-to-day management, recruitment and HR, conflict resolution, and future planning. Let's turn to day-to-day management first. The areas here that I feel you need to pay special attention to is that you have professional communication rather than family communication where you switch up how you talk to each other when you're at work. Bring in professionalism in your tone. Add in your thank yous and pleases and use proper communication channels such as email, work chat, or meetings to have work conversation. Work should not make it to the dinner table. Trust me on this one. Next, it's important you're open to change and that you don't take change as a personal attack on senior family member decisions beforehand. Change is dictated by the customer and the marketplace, so any reluctance to move with the times will no doubt have an effect on the bottom line. Then you are going to want to set healthy boundaries. This could apply to many different scenarios, but my top concern is maintaining the confidentiality of non-family employees and vice versa. Finally, on a day-to-day basis, I like to practice good governance by having an advisory board made up of non-family members with just a small number of family members on the board. This helps prevent the risk of conflicts of interest, and the business and its needs are always being prioritized. The next segment on our family business pie is recruitment and HR. As a default, I believe a business should always seek outside the family unit for recruitment first. This works on 2 levels. First, It gives the job a value in the family member's eyes, where there is no assumption that anyone is a shoo-in. And secondly, it puts responsibility on the family members to be the best qualified applicant rather than put the pressure on the business to teach them the ropes. It naturally follows that it is advised that you do not provide sympathy jobs for family members. You don't want to treat your business like it's the last resort employment for your children, cousins, or other members of your extended family, since this will devalue the business in not just your eyes, but also in the unrelated team members' eyes who are working to build the business. Business is business. No matter what type of business you're in, resist the temptation to force the family to join you in your business. Related or not, the only type of employees you want are the enthusiastic ones. It's the only way your company will succeed. The next segment on our family business pie is conflict resolution. Even if you and your families are the only ones involved in the business, you should still keep things official. Put the informality aside and ensure that every agreement or contract is formalized in a written document. Disagreements are unavoidable in a work environment, especially if you're relying on each other's goodwill rather than formal paperwork. If a disagreement does occur, put aside the family dynamic and the temptation to get into a state of emotionally blackmailing each other. If you want a professional work environment, it is going to take a deliberate effort by both parties to maintain the Chinese wall. What I will say here is try to practice this separation of family and work before there's any risk of conflict. Otherwise, suddenly switching to an arm's length professional tone when a conflict occurs can be triggering for a further conflict. The final segment on our family business pie is future planning. When it comes to operating a business, don't put too much stock in the current level of success. Instead, have a very clear exit strategy, whether it be succession planning or even selling to a third party. This knowledge will inform you of the way in which to build your business. This also helps prevent anyone harboring any mistaken plans of succession or takeover. Writing this piece about family businesses reminded me of who I was when I started in my first family business experience, way back when I was 18. I was so starry-eyed about it all. I was not cognizant of the inherent risks with this sort of business structure. Truthfully though, if someone would have alerted me to these risks, I might have been one of those that thought, we're not like other people and our family would be different. Oh God, young entrepreneurs' optimism, I guess. Nevertheless, 20 years later, I still believe there is a place for family businesses, but not without a big fat reality check. My husband and I work on a few projects together now and then, and every time there is a sit down to work out a healthy strategy where we divide responsibilities and create rules of engagement. We don't always get it right, but I do believe we are both getting better at it every time. Who knows what will happen if our future children ever join the equation, but I would like to think that we will find a harmonious and profitable dynamic in much the same way that I hope you do too. Until next time, you've got this. Hi, I'm Priyanka. It's sunny outside, but I'm choosing to be here with you. Surely I earned a subscribe for that.